Good afternoon. Welcome to the Open Gate Show for Friday, November 5th, to decipher tomorrow's 10 race card. Pure water, pure Pride Jamaican bottled water. Rehydrate yourself. Taste the experience of pure water. Regardless of the ease in the spread of COVID, remember, still wear a mask. Still practice social distancing as well as sanitizing your hands. If you don't stand up for something, then you will stoop for nothing without even knowing. Pity the few who stand up are even attacked by those who are in the dark. My comments on the arbitrary naming of the races for the biggest race meet of the season had some fans puzzled why these names were affixed to each of the races. It took Mr. Denzel Miller, a stalwart in horse racing, a veteran, to explain the reason why, when I called him, the races were named that way. My understanding is we are going global with our horse racing, and the various areas in Jamaica that the tourists from all over the world knows will be highlighted as it is married to the races, and they're trying to garner interest in, well, I should say the betting in the near future, as the tote board should be in activation by the latter part of January. So they're looking far ahead and being proactive. That makes sense. Surely one could consider that. But if you don't know why things are happening, then you will be left with the usual rhetorics that evolves when things like these happen. The youth fan base of the top three trainers, Jason Acosta, Anthony Nunes, and Gary Sobrati, are such that the creative Supreme Ventures Racing Entertainment Limited marketing or whatever department that is relevant to try to have horse racing in the ears and on the lips and in the minds of Jamaicans and others who support sports, betting or even watching, should be such that they grab the opportunity to promote that rivalry, more so as there ain't nothing formidable to look forward this Christmas season. There's nothing in the air. So how are they so dumb enough not to see that and to promote this rivalry, which is very, very important, and it stems from way back when we had a rivalry with Arthur Sharp and Ren Gonzalez and Philip Fiani and Caymanas. Supreme Ventures have good intentions, lots of good intentions, even though a minute few are just ego-pleasing. Well, okay, if that's the life these days, egotist. But when they implement things, they should know that our society normally reacts mostly negatively on changes. We all know that. Why the ex-Supreme Ventures Racing Entertainment Limited don't explain certain changes? Surely it costs zero to do that. And yes, it would make common sense to the public understanding. My biggest concern, and could say my only concern, and I told this to the chairman, as well as other executives, that Supreme Ventures don't take public relations seriously. And if they speak the truth, instead of claiming me to be anti-SVREL, that is always my concern. The Open Gate Show comments that some Supreme Ventures Racing Limited execs, as well as their surrogates, have me anti-SVREL. It's totally misleading and unfortunate. Me want better racing for all horsemen and fans. The Open Gate Show applauds two owners, Everton Campbell of Jordan Rain and Sojourn and Roger the Pilot, Helen Elliott of Secret Identity fame, and owner, breeder, trainer Lorenzo Robinson for their humanitarian efforts made recently, such a rarity these days. I must also commend Dennis Harrison of the Raymond District in Clarendon, Jamaica, for his valued input towards the Open Gate Show. Yes, there were a few who played an integral part in the start of the Open Gate Show. Peter Level, Fana, who is now deceased, Marmy Bay, the gentleman there, I can't remember his name, Junior Fender, and a few others. Hey, I love horse racing, good horse racing, where all can benefit, even if there are only hopes in the sky that can be seen. Punters are valuable, surely, but horsemen are the ones who does the hard work 24/7. You can't really be totally putting things in the skies for punters to wager. Yes, we need their money. But try putting things in the sky for horsemen too. It's not only the top trainers and jockeys that need attention, like what Supreme Ventures Racing Entertainment Limited quarter incentive really is. Well, a purse increase with all that money in that incentive program, in incentive competition, would have a multifaceted effect where all, yes, all, would benefit. It's said the quarterly incentive competition creates horsemen to nominate more horses. A purse increase with that money would do more than that, including attracting new owners and more horses into the fraternity. We need more horses, and I'm sure Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can see that. I mentioned the tote board will be, well, you'll soon see some work being, well, actually the works being done to signal the direction of a modernized tote board. It's great. But which group or which show is highlighting things that are happening in racing that could regard as public related? Dr. Paul Wright and the analysts on the races for each race on the race day have been doing very well, and a lot of people depend on them to make the final decision on their pick sixes and pick nine. It's great that these gentlemen are there to help, keep our horse racing on race day, that is, buoyant. Asleep are trainers who there's no leadership. Asleep are owners. There's no leadership. Not sure about the breeders. Not sure about the fans. Because these days, for people all over the world, it's all about money, 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 to win money. And to win money, you have to spend money. And majority who spend money to win, to gamble, majority of them will lose. I'm not saying that there's anything against gambling. You have to take a chance, you have to survive. But remember, if you don't stand up for something, then you'll stoop for nothing. Anyway, let's get to tomorrow's 10-race card. Post time will be 11:45 a.m. And the first race is for 5 years and up, claiming tackle 150 to 180,000, and native bred 6 years and up who have never won 2 races in their lifetime, as well as native bred 5-year-olds and up who remains a maiden. 3.5 furlongs or 700 meters. They go. Number 1, Freedom for Eds, fresh from approximately 4.5 months hiatus. Loves it fresh. And jockey Tevin Foster, his presence says it all against this suspect field. Number 3, King Liberty, still a maiden, but could be considered for a minor place in your exotics. Number 4, The Beast, fastest in the lineup. Well, The Beast always shows speed. Another here who loves it fresh and should use his speed to an advantage, especially at 3.5 furlongs. But how fit is he? How well is his physicality, regardless of how his condition is? Well, normally these low claiming races, you have to guess and hope for the best. Well, not hope for the beast, for the best. That's what I said. Anyway, number 5, Smoke Screen. Shane Ellis won for this trainer last week, and they team again for this engagement tomorrow with a horse who has form, very interesting horse, this Smoke Screen, and could be aptly named, if you know what I mean. Well, I guess some will laugh because they know what I mean. Number 6, Sir Budget, earned over $5 million. This former open allowance horse has some catching up to do. Number 8, Parajet, another speedster who his last 2 efforts approaching the winning post were poor, especially the uncomfortable look en route to this unsaddling enclosure in each of those 2 races. Number 10, Awesome Cat, coming off a 9-month sojourn after having his issue worsened in that last race. Regardless, he ran well enough to be second, 3.25 lengths. So the Beast, who is here again, that layoff will do wonders for that particular issue. So, well, you should be aware of the cat. Well, you should be aware of this Awesome Cat tomorrow. Number 11, Determined King, reasonable support in his last 8 starts. That won't convince me any for a win. Number 5, Smoke Screen. Number 1, Freedom for Eds. Number 10, Awesome Cat. Top 3 for me. Number 4, The Beast. Number 8, Parajet. Should fill your added fancies if necessary for those who play the exotics. We go to the second race. It's for native and imported 2-year-old. It's a maiden special weight race. 8 entries. They go 5.5 furlongs or 1,100 meters. 6 of 8 here are debutants. Number 1, Hidden Valley. 1 of 2 here for trainer Richard Lizan, whose stable is back in form, and his youngsters are really doing well. I'm expecting an improved effort tomorrow from this one. but I don't expect this one to win. We'll be getting first-time visor, of which that has been making her having more zest of exercise. But as I said, she should run an improved race after 2 career starts, but I don't expect her to win. Number 2, Brinks, debutant number 1, born on 19th of February, be caught by Bird Identity out of Indian Bluff by Pine Bluff. Breeder and owner Ian Prasad, the groom Philip Rigg. Omar Walker rides. This horse will get tongue tie on, but won't have Lasix. Medium build colt who is moving very well on the exercise track and should fight for the top on the pair. Number 3, I'll Go See Me, debutant number 2, born the 23rd of February, be caught by Sensational Islam out of Gaining Traction by Sydney's Candy. Breeder Hampstead Limited, owner Yuan Man Lam. This horse is trained by Anthony Nunes and will be ridden by Shane Ellis. The far right is the groom. I'll Go See Me is moving okay for a winning chance, but I'm not that excited on him. Well, he could be a horse who shows up when the race is on. I'm not on the exercise track. The older horse here in this 8-horse field to have Lasix, and this colt could be such that he wins. Let him win for me. Number 4, Devante, debutant number 3, born the 8th of April, to be caught by Phil's Vision out of 18 Carat by His Real Thing. Breeder and owner Andrew Donalds, and at this point in time, the Open Gate Show applauds another humanitarian in Andrew Donalds, and I'm wishing him all the best, not only in horse racing, but in life. His horse here, Devante, will be ridden by Terry Foster for Anthony Nunes, the second entry here for Nunes. Both Anthony Nunes' horse have been training longer than all debutants, except for number 7, Rainsville. Devante will have a visor on tomorrow. Number 5, Justin Biden, debutant number 4, born the 15th of April, a chested colt by Lion Tamer out of Wagon Wheel by Region of Merit. Owner and breeder, sorry, not owner and breeder, the breeder, Clinton Roden, the owner, Carlton Granson, the groom, Paul Isaacs. Informed jockey Robert Halladine rides for Lawrence Fremantle. A leggy individual who looks to have value, but needs to settle down more and should learn to do the same after this race is over, onwards. Well, hopefully. We'll have some time to figure it for his debut start. Number 6, Infinito. Well, that horse ran already. Number 7, Rainsville, debutant number 5, born the 12th of April, a great colt by Casual Trick, out of 50 Shades of Frey by Zanzero. Richard Azan and Alexander Haber bred this one, and they also owns. Richard Azan is the trainer the Cardenus rides. Kirkland Samuel, the groom of Slammer, he groomed this one. Bred for speed as well as to run early, has been in training far, far longer than all here. That's a huge plus. We'll have blinkers and figure 8. Kind of difficult for me to fancy this horse to win, as you've been training with, well, going like this horse is still. in that most of his workouts are beyond 6 furlongs. Richard Zan seems to be on a rigid trainer. I think he is one of the top 3 or 4, surely, who is training horses present at Caymanas Park. Number 8, Runaway Algo, debutant number 6, born 11th of April at Chestnut Court by Algorithms, by Annabelle, by Concord Point. The breeder, Landmark Farms, Ridgewood, the owner. This is a U.S. importee and the only U.S. Bred horse in this race. Has interesting crossings, this Runaway Algo, and has been flashing speed in the mornings, and surely will show same, especially in the early, with the leading rider in Anthony Thomas. Runaway Algo is groomed by Dave Biggs and be ridden by, as I mentioned, Anthony Thomas, Dale Murphy, the trainer. Number 2, though, Brinks. From number 3, Agul Sumi. Number 7, Rainsville. Number 8, Runaway Algo. Third race, 5 furlongs round or 1,000 meters round, 9 starters, it's 4 children up. It's an optional claim, it's 300 to 400,000. And native bred 6 years and up, who's never won 4 races in their career. Number 1, Storming, made figures somewhere in lower segments of your exotics, as the speed is expected to collapse. So Storming could pass the few and get into the lower segment on the board. Number 2, Buckle Luck. Can you forgive her last start when stretching out to 7 furlongs on the 2nd of October? Up with the speed and finish 8th, 25 lengths behind Dear Leora, Star Walking Girl, and Week's Choice. Broke slow then. Robert Aladdin gets the call. And this horse has a chance if we can forget that last run. Her last win was at this trip, beating number 4, Smoky Topaz, easily by 3.5 lengths. So have that in mind. Number 3, Stormborn, another speedy sword, but this one has been, always been faltering, leaving the furlong point. Interesting, Morocco gets the call. Number 4, Smoky Topaz, very consistent gelding over varied sprint distances, and I'm expecting this horse to run well for a top 3 slot. Number 6, Adwa, plunged down to 350,000 claim. I wonder why. Well, she's nicely weighted in the Cardinals rides, and trainer Roy Matthews has been having good form. Number 7, Mother Nature. I've seen this one in very good condition, looking very well after that facile win on last on the 19th of October, going 5 furlongs straight, pulling away to win by 5.5 lengths like an out-of-class horse, beating Smoky Topaz and Storm Princess, who both are here. Number 8, Smart Tradition. Last 2 races were awful, yet Shane Ellis is attracted. He was aboard this horse when he won on sometime in July, running on, beating Blue Attitude and Mamacita after being slowly away, who won it 17 to 1 with 126 pounds. Anyway, top 5 in this race: number 7, Mother Nature; number 6, Adwa; number 4, Smoky Topaz; number 2, Buckle Up; number 8, I am putting Smart Tradition in what looks to be a very tricky race. Oh, I didn't, sorry about that, I didn't mention anything about number 9, Storm Princess, who has her favorite rider in Anthony Thomas, and remains, always shows some speed, but drawn this wide has to have some reserve. She hasn't been showing that, really, approaching the winning post. 4th race, 9 starters. They go 4.5 furlongs or 900 meters. For native bred 5 who have never won 2 races. Number 1, Golden Emperor, may be a factor tomorrow, maybe not. Very unpredictable sort. And before Rhythm Up will benefit in this shortened distance. Like on the 13th of December last season, when he ran second half a length to fighting Valby, and then Uncle Bally 3/4 lengths behind. That race was a tougher race than what comes tomorrow. Well, that is if number 6 Falling Forever doesn't show up again. Rhythm Up, Terence Sanko, when you see Anthony Thomas on his horses, they normally runs. Number 6 Falling Forever failed to change her lead last week. Let's see tomorrow, as she is far better than he is. Number 7 Block Royalty, possible low exotic expectations. Number 9 Money Marshall ran only once so far this season, off a 5-month respite, getting 99 to 1. That mathematics doesn't spell well for Money Marshall, and add to that mix, almost immediately after that race, changed stable by private ownership, it seems. Here for, I don't know what to say about this horse, because there's no exercise support on him. And, well, and that camouflage is chances has to be kept in mind, surely. Top 3, number 4, Rhythm Up, number 6, Then Be Live, number 9, Money Marshall. And for those who play the exotics, you can consider Black Royalty, number 7, for the lowest segment. 30 entries, 4 furlong straight or 800 meters straight is for this native bred 4-year-old mainly condition race. That's race 5, half of the program. Number 3, Cupcake, hasn't been really distributing any tasty cake. Well, you can only be tasty when you get into the winner's enclosure. And this horse has been running wide and all sort of displays that hampers her getting in front of the field. All I can say is that this well-bred filly has very good form. Gets a change of rider from Terry Foster, who has ridden this horse in well, I think from she started racing. And Robert Halladine takes the call to see what can be done. Number 4, Miss Francis, back from a 7-month break. Speedy sort, who is much too light not to be given a winning chance. Raced only once in flash speed, and she's well bred. Remember that. Those 2 displays in only 2 career starts says a lot. So she has to be the horse to beat. Number 6, Buzz Assault, could find a low placing. Number 10, Silverstein, gets the Cardenas after that good showing on this 18th of September, going 4.5 furlongs straight, when leading and stayed on to be 2 3/4 and 4th, the Vice Third Pie, Plutologist, and Cupcake. That was her coming off a layoff, so she must be fitter. And, well, that's her best display ever. So coming off a layoff with that display means that she's a sorted out filly. And the Cardenas collection is, well, Trinity Clark has asked to ride. Very dangerous horse indeed. Number 3, Blue Epiphany, a possible upsetter. Has been looking okay. Tenzin Chang, a very good trainer. And you must remember that. I hope if he wins this race, you're not reminded and you don't have him in your pick 6 or pick 9. Anyway, top 4, number 5, Miss Francis, number 3, Cupcake, number 10, Silverstein, number 13, Blue Epiphany. Entry legs extend for the exotic players. Number 6, Buzz Assault. 6 furlongs or 1,200 meters, 13 inches for race 6. It's for native-bred trios who never won 2 races, as well as imported trios and up, who are still a maiden. Number 3, Artesia looks set to repeat a display that had her maiden win over this journey on the 17th of July, beating Rocket Lily and Balotelli. She's working well enough. That's why I respect her, and surely Richard is unstable is in form. Number 6, Will the Conqueror, could get a place in the top 5. Number 7, It's a Boy, back against competitors he can run well against. Number 8, Alimony, capable of doing well. Number 10, Minded Cat, fair chance of getting into the top 3 or 4. Number 11, Old King Cole, could close for a top 4 slot as he's working well by his standards. Number 13, Ring Charmer, looks a bit improved, has put on some weight and looks good. But if that looks good enough for a win, well, top 5, number 2, Artesia. Number 8, It's a Boy. Number 9, Alimony. Number 10, Minded Cat. Number 11, Old King Cole. Race number 7, 9 entries, 6 furlongs again, or 1,200 meters. It's for native-bred trios. It's a maiden special weight race. Small field. Number 4, Trojan Warrior. Last 2 were good enough, and he looks the one to beat here. Number 5, El Fuego, a debutant, born the 17th of April, a big colt by Here Comes Ben, out of Lady Madras by Footloose. Henry William Jagai, OD and JP, bred this one. Maurice Myrie, the owner. Christopher Mundine rides for trainer Ray Phillips. Surely has youth, if Texas display are to be taken into consideration. May need this one to learn more. That's my opinion, because this horse normally works alone, and I'm just thinking that he will need this experience for the win. Number 6, Traditional Boy, should be fit this time than last when he ran a very good race. Running second by a neck to Hajo Primero just under 2 weeks ago. Number 8, Legal Opportunity, is improving and should be part of your high 5. Number 9, Whispering Magic, will be closing fast, even though there ain't much speed to chase. But she has this tendency of quickening, but not quickening fast enough. Don't expect her to win. Well, that is Trojan Warrior.
Check out KD's Vehicle Headlamp and Restoration. Our headlamps are fine sanded, buffed, and 9H coated with a 2-year guarantee. Price starting at $4,500. Internal restoration and modification starts at $8,000. To make an appointment today, call us at 876-824-6186.
Number 2, Royal and Regal. Sorry, Regal and Royal. Royal and Regal is, for those veterans, remember, a huge chestnut horse owned by Ivan Lynn, trained by Ada Sharp. Was a useful horse, not really any top class horse. I think he went to the B2 class. Maybe Dennis or Peter can rectify that. Roland Regal could get into your trifecta, especially from this informed born of Gary Griffiths. He should be a factor for the top honors, as he ran very well against Santorini, who is here, and Bill Wiz and Secret Identity. After leading that race, very strange, at 42-1 on the 4th of September. Not sure he's going to try to lead this time around, but bear this horse in mind for a possible mild upset. Number 4, Dan Street. Well, 3 here for the leading trainer, Jason DaCosta. Dan Street had 2 starts since coming off a 5.5 month hiatus. Not sure he prefers a mile, but that display in the 2-year-old stake race, the Rich Tour race, on the 27th of December, when he finished 5 and 3rd with 126 pounds to further the beyond, who won by 3 lengths, beating She's a Wonder. Then Street was 2 lengths behind. If Focus now could fight this out for the win, he really looked alert when I saw this one, not on the exercise track, but being led out and walking around on the bridle path. Number 4, Santorini. Facing much better. Well, I should say racing much better, doing well since the tongue tie was taken off, as seen in his last 2 starts. This is from the barn of Anthony Nunes. Santorini surely will be coming to run. Number 6, Iron Links, likely low exotic placing is envisaged based on her fitness. Number 7, Unruly Boss, the speediest horse in the race, or on paper, is stretching out to a mile with regular rider Anthony Thomas. I'm hesitant selecting this horse for a top 2 placing, but ain't disregarding this horse who has scope for improvement. Number 3, though, then Street, just from number 4, Santorini, number 2, Roland Regal. Those are the top 3, in my opinion. Number 4, Unruly Boss, should be there for a placing on the board. Penultimate race 9, 11 entries, 9 from 25 yards or 1,820 meters. For neighborhood 4 and up, none who have never won 3 races, and imported 4 and up who have never won 2 races. Number 1, Zabatoni, recently claimed by the hot barn of Colin Ferguson, and they do very well, especially horses recruiting from trainer Richard Zion's barn. Number 2, Tomahawk, should be more focused than that race he ran on the 30th of October, going 7.5 furlongs, finishing 7 lengths behind. Let him fly, Ferrety's helicopter et al. Number 3, Ajita, if presented to run, can get a top 3 slot. Number 10, No Identity, Fit Code, who was 2.5 lengths third behind number 2, Tomahawk, faced plenty here. Number 11, Old Warford, have to find more, but is the only horse here, except for number 8, As You Wish, to have won twice, going 2 turns. Number 2, Tomahawk. Number 10, No Identity. Number 1 is Opportunity. Number 11, Old Wharf. Number 3 is Jita. Jita's position could move up in my selection sequence if I was sure that she will be presented. Focus. Race number 10, the final race for Children Up Overnight Allowance, 13 entries, 5 furlongs round or 1,000 meters round. 5 furlongs round or 1,000 meters round doesn't suit majority of the horses here, and those who will be suited don't have the class to win, and the rest are not fit enough to win. Anyway, when I say not fit enough, well, let me retract that. I mean, they have a lot of catching up to do, although they have back class. All right? Okay, I have to be clear. Number 6, El Professor, possibly can get second if focused to do so. Number 8, Nuclear Noon, can't see him losing unless something out of the norm happens. Number 10, Unknown Soldier, could close far mind the share. Number 11, Alexis Lodge, a good sort who is improving and should be competitive. Number 12, Deep Blue Sea, Speedy Chestnut, who was claimed out of that race by Ryan Darby, who normally does well with new recruits. Let's see how deep Darby can get this one to go. Number 13, Superluminal, the shortest journey on the curve. this horse is venturing over, well, could earn something. Number 8, Nuclear Noon, surely. Then number 6, El Professor. Number 11, Alexis Lodge. Number 10, Unknown Soldier. Number 12, Deep Blue Sea, to decide who will run, fill the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th slots. 103 horses were entered for tomorrow's race meet. Top 3 traders each have 4 each has started in 4 races. Huge race meet next week, when the best horses presently will be seen. Huge purse money. It's really unfortunate this race meet is not advertised to build the momentum. Maybe, well, not maybe, the pick 9 and pick 6s are advertised though. A lot of interest for the 2021 Trainers title next week, race meet, where the Fat Lady will finally ink her song for December 26th. Anyway, so much for tomorrow's race meet. Join me tomorrow afternoon for helping you decide on your selections for Sunday's race card. I'm closing to say life has changed 360 degrees, and the businessmen, the politicians, and others of their likes, their mindset easily will see this. Our society don't, because our society needs money to pay their bills, the light bills, and all those bills that they normally pay. We need to be very careful, and we need to change with the times. Don't take anything for granted. You only need to look around to see what's happening. You see how they are driving on the road, how the bikes are meandering wantonly without any regard for the motorists, other motorists or pedestrians. You see things going sky high every day, every week. Things are raising up and up. And most businesses are scaling down, which has workers being laid off. Where will they get money to live? Horse racing, cash pot, or what? Hard work? Where's the work? I have nothing against wagering. I'm a racehorse trainer, a breeder, a owner, a horseman. But be slow and give good thought with what you do with your money. The exotic bets are lucrative and can be won. And a lot of people have combined the Open Gate show with Dr. Paul Wright's show and Michael's show, as well as the race book. I wish you all the best of luck. And you have enough time, thanks to Supreme Federal Racing Entertainment Limited, with their new format of having the overnight and having the final program way out, for giving you more time to study. I hope you have listened to the last segment of the show very carefully. I'm not saying anything against anyone or any entity. All I'm saying, you need to realize that time has changed, and time waits for no one. You have to be careful. Take care. Good luck.